Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl.
Welcome back, everybody. It looks like we're launching straight back into the action. Clapham. Now, I have been asking around, and it turns out it's they just because they brought 13 players to this tournament, they didn't want to tire out their legs trying to play full field offense. So they're going with something of a yeah, they spelled my name right. They're going with something of a Japanese style defense where they just kind of give up half the pitch. It also limits hucking. We know Chevy not afraid of hucking. I mean, this is a rivalry that's been going on for 20 years. 20 years in which Clapham have won 19 of the times they've met in the finals. But Chevron have that gold medal around their necks right now, that crown on their heads. So this is very exciting stuff, plenty of action. A little bit of an insight, that's Sweeten with the disc, one of the young stars. Chevy doing a great job, a lot of youth players coming up through their system. Well, not their system, but a lot of youth players wind up playing for them. Big time grab attempt, but Henry Brooking, you want to talk about youth players? He was on that under-24 team with Sweetenham, and Henry Brooking, the ex-Rat, current Frog, gets the big block early. If you watched Clapham's game yesterday against Gentle, I was very taken with him. Yeah, underthrowing that, and Brooking's able to step in and get it. So now Clapham with a chance for an early break. Setting that down the line, but I think that was underneath the foot of the intended receiver. You don't see that too often. Sweetenham tries to lead, does so very well. And that's comfortably taken in by Chevron, who don't seem to have chevrons on their jersey. That's a unique choice, but okay. You'd naturally think that would be an easy one to do. So Chevron, despite the early stumble, able to recover. Last time they met in European competition was Elite Invite in Bern 2023. Clapham beat Chevron 15-11. Of course. Oh, there's the Chevrons. I'm just an idiot. Yeah, that makes sense. Are they playing two different lines? I think they might be. Well, that's Ben Hull with the disc. It's great to see him back out there. I might be confusing him with someone else, but I think he had a really long battle against injury to come back. I'm just going to have to wait while the stats from which all of my knowledge is derived, load up. Nice catch. McHale. Who are they putting on McHale to start things off with? Tom Hodgett? Yeah, that makes sense. McHale floats that one down the line. Bogan Carey gets it across to East. East. McHale tries to get free. This is nice. There's the call of tighten up from the sideline. And Chevron, not afraid of a little bit of switching themselves. Bogan Carey with the high release backhand. I was there when that man learned how to play. I did not think he'd ever be capable of something like that, but it shows you the commitment that he has. East overthrows his initial intention, but is rescued from blushes by McHale. And back to Bogan Carey. The quick pop to McHale. Clapham looking for their first hold. And there, Bogan Carey roasts him, but instead it just sets up the scuba over the top. That was very nicely done. That was collected, I believe, by the main man himself. I'll have to double check that. You can see on his toes at the back corner, just waiting for that opportunity. He's like, if they put that up, I've got a pretty good chance of coming in and getting that block, except he was wrong. Okay. So, again, Clapham going with this pull. Let's see how they respond. Josh Kime, that's a veteran of the Chevron offense. Fantastic thrower. That's a veteran of just UK Ultimate in general. Spears with the disc. Been a big fan of his for a long time. Elliot Edwards. Oh, getting too casual. Throwing that over the head of his intended receiver. And now Clapham have the opportunity to just go right back, but a little bit of a fumble. A cuticle crumble, shall we say. And there's Kime. Oh, I thought he was putting that. Instead, oh, nice. Elliot, or Spears even, just comes chasing up. Spears is one of the few people who seems to get more hair the older he gets. I don't understand how that works. Cameron Weir working well in the backfield with Criddle. That was sweet. Oh, that's brilliant stuff by Chevron. Just pop, 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 pop. It ended with Weir. It started with him too, if I remember correctly. Those 5 players involved, lightning quick, and 2-1 to Chevron. They're known as Chevron Action Flash. I have asked several members of the team over the past 6 years where that name came from. None of them have known. Nice little dish from Andrew Sweetnam for just that quick fire play. You know what'll save your legs, Clapham? Losing to Chevron quickly. Seems to be what they're saying. If you want a little update of the stats, apart from Pride, which obviously there's a lot of it on the line in this matchup, Clapham are currently ranked 3rd coming into this tournament based on the scoring. They were 5-1 with a rating of 492 for reference. Lafada were above them about 60 points above that. Mooncatchers were above them about 130 points above Clapham. Then it's One Tribe from Italy, 3SB from Czech Republic, Ranelagh from Dublin, Shaq from France, and then in 8th position, Chevron Action Flash at 337. So a separation of about 160 between them, as you can see the graphic there for yourself. Chevron, that's coming into this tournament. By the way, Chevron have obviously played more than 3 games at this tournament. This is their 5th game of it. But we will see how this all breaks down later on. Just finishing out the rest of the guaranteed spots. So the top 10, Cullerica Grounders from Italy, and Bristol, the Rats from England. As you see, Clapham wasting no time, just going all the way down. It's just open, 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 baby, and ending with East. Well, look, East is East. And that was a great play. I mean, Clapham just worked that sideline, right? Throw after throw, while I was busy paying too much attention to the standing. So 2-2. You see, they just catch it in stride. Simples. So still 2-2. Still a lot of exciting stuff to happen. A lot of young players on this team. But there's a couple of noticeable absences. Ethan Morrell, who I believe threw the assist to win Chevron their first ever UK title. Bear in mind, they're players who played for Chevron who legitimately had 15 plus silver medals. So imagine what that felt like to win that title. I feel like Ethan Morrell, it was like Ethan Morrell and Roger Williams or something like that. Some kind of under 24 connection. Neither of those players are here with Chevron. They do have Sweden. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Roger Williams is here. Sorry. That was my mistake. Oh, and there's the shot immediately to Sweden. Okay, yeah. Keep giving us these one-shot opportunities. And it's the last game of the tournament, so you're not worried about tiring yourself out at this point, right? I think my source was lying to me. They're practicing something. But great work by Chevron. I think one of the accusations you could level against them is they were always fighting the legacy of Clapham rather than Clapham themselves. But Kime, see Sweden, that is just too slow of a reaction by East. Again, there's a couple of people who share surnames. That was Tyler East. It's Josh East who scored the previous point. And there, Sweden with the famous grinding pepper directly into your eye celebration. course, Clapham, not without their own young talent. I mean, obviously I've been fawning over Henry Brooking quite a lot. He was on that same team. Williams and Morella, I think, were also on the senior side. Yes, they were. And that senior side was almost exclusively Clapham players. For those two young boys sneaking on as well. That's a busy year at Euros and under 24s. And I don't think GB did it quite as well as they were hoping to at Euros, but still. Got in the top 8, or Worlds even, got in the top 8. There's the big shot looking all the way deep and chasing it down on the opposite side for the collection. He missed it one time, but Hillman rides again. Collects it on the second asking. 2 defenders around him. I thought he was about to rip it down, to be honest. As we linger on Charlie Buck. So that's a fantastic rip by Andrew Hillman. Looking for and finding Dan Hillman. So again, that one rolls out. Kind of lost my bearings. I didn't know there was another pitch over there, to be honest with you. We spend all day looking at the one pitch. I assumed there was trees behind us. Oh, Ben Holm nails that one. So Kime picks it up. Charlie Butt's right in front of him. He's got no problem just throwing that break straight down the line. Gets the back all the way. Sweet him. You can see there, like, yeah, Charlie, great work. You forced that all the way back. That's true. Sweet him. Nice good pop off. Swings around to the opposite side. Back to Sweetum. And they're just moving it nice and quick, not really forcing anything. Cameron Weir back into the middle to Spears. And all the way across. Ooh, faked me out of it a bit there. But, you know, I thought Criddle was gonna maybe try and do something spectacular. He's taking his time, gets it to Colt Hammer. Colt Hammer along with Kime, just one of those Chevron veterans. Elliot Edwards pops it back. So a lot of recycling right in front of the end zone. It's good end zone drilling, I suppose, for Chevron Action Flash. As I said earlier, they were accused in the past a lot of the times of playing Clapham's legacy rather than Clapham's players. They dispelled that ghost. It's time to see if it'll come back. Weir. Moving with the throw, I like that a lot. Spears. Sweetum's just kind of attracting attention right in front. Spears with the scooper all the way over the top. Then Kime wants to finish it. A lot of movement, a lot of cutting directly in front of the space. There's a bit too much content there for Wijaya. Oh, I get that. That's a pick. Yeah, Wijaya feels like he got picked by Sweetum. Very much did. Yeah, that would explain why Weir was so free. Oh, but he just attacks the front. Wijaya doesn't respond quick enough in time, just skipping around him. Nicely done. 4-3 to Chevron Action Flash. It's a great name. I just wish it meant something. Consider themselves ultimate in Technicolor. That's how Chevron Action Flash like to place themselves. Oh, huge bid, but coming up empty, and then an immediate rip all the way to the end zone. Well, not all the way to the end zone, but all the way down the pitch. Fantastic defensive battle. I thought that was going to be East's, but in the battle of the 22s, that is ex-Clapham player Robbie Haynes coming up big. Not letting that one go. That one got let go. Okay, so here come Clapham right back at it. Ogden pops it into Hillman. Hillman doesn't want McInerney in front of him. Seg goes to McHale. McHale, the lefty. Tries to get to East, and this time East pops it in a lot easier. Robbie Haynes can only watch from nearby. So, Clapham, a couple of hiccups, but here's a question for you. Conor McHale, is he actually left-handed, or did he just teach himself to throw left-handed because that's more advantageous? Because he's got the kind of psychotic dedication that I think would do that, but I haven't known him long enough. I've known him since he played for Emo, in fairness. That was like 2016, so you've got how long I've been doing this sometimes. Might even been 2017, calling like an open tour in Birmingham. But something, certainly it was more typical of the UK scene back then, is you'd see like a really good player, a really strong up-and-coming player on a not so strong and up-and-coming club team, and you'd look at them and you'd think, you're going to try it for Clapham next year. And, you know, some people do it and become talismans. I think Bowden Carey, I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure he's won a European title with Radler and with Clapham now. Still going for it. I don't believe that they're just trying to save their legs at this point. I don't know, it's like the last game, it's 4-4. If you genuinely wanted to get a break, you'd be throwing real hucks, unless this is a strategy you're developing. Now look at how they all just pick up. Yeah, it's a zone. It's like a unique way of setting up a zone. And then they wait for the assignments. Oh, there's the block! He did just enough. Excellent heads-up play by Andrew Hillman. And then McInerney's wasting no time. The lobster man rips one deep to Brooking. Brooking right outside the end zone. Thinks about a scooper. Now he just needs to think about a completion. Nicely done. Gets it back. That's Andrew Hillman, and he just feeds the beast that is Joshua East. So that was a break. As you can see here, that's when you have to throw it. You can't, like, they did a great job of overloading between Spears. Oh, that's tough. There's a little bit of a drop. They did a good job of overloading Hillman, but that's the second time East is just so good at attacking the very slimmest lines of the end zone. There's got to be an idea behind it. Joshua East, current city, Warwick. I got a lot of love for Warwick. I grew up, or I spent a few years of my youth in Coventry, just next to Warwick. He played for Lemmings, he's played for Mighty Hawks, obviously playing for Clapham now. A lot of experience international as well, and as I mentioned yesterday, a semi-pro footy referee, footy being football or soccer. Offense ready. So 5-4 to Clapham. They get their first break on their, I believe, second opportunity. They turned Chevy on the first point, but weren't able to convert. Spears picks it up this time. Gets it back to Sweden. That's a much more honest match by this point, and trying to send it down, but it doesn't go anywhere. And then with no hesitation, the rip going all the way deep. He wants Brooking. He gets him. I mean, they're making it look pretty easy right now. If you're starting to throw into these traps that they're setting, you're going to make things difficult. Spears did everything in his power to catch up. You got to give him credit. That was a great throw from, I assume, McHale. It certainly looked like his throwing form. Henry Brooking, man. Talented. So here you can see Sweden, he wants the inside, but you can't do that. You can't start running away from the disc and give the corner up. Certainly not to Connor McHale. Connor McHale played with Machine, Chicago. He knows how rare these opportunities are at this level, and he will take every one you even hint at in his presence. So 6-4, a nice 3-point run for Clapham. And they go for it again. I mean, if it ain't broke, you know? And there's the big swing right back into the middle. Sending it around Sweden now. And that was nice and smooth across to Tom Hodgett. Oh. Kime. So that's Hodgett there. A nice easy swing across. Taken in by Martin Hall. I think there's a bit of contact there between Sweden and Tig. Bogan Carey. See, look at that. There's no fake there. There's a shoulder shake and then just a straight line run. That's not good enough. Leading pass. So swings back into the middle. There's a hammer over the top coming out. And brilliantly done, finding on the other side Elliot Edwards for the score. Such a hammer by Tom Hodgett. I think he was getting sick of all this just dinking and dumping in the backfield. Taking this on. It was Tom Hodgett who threw it, wasn't it? Yeah. Just would have assumed he'd come over and celebrate with Elliot Edwards a little bit, but seemed more annoyed about that than anything else. So 6-5. Elliot Edwards having himself a real showing at this tournament. 4 assists, 14 goals coming into this game. So really showing off. He's 23, currently based out of Brighton. So I imagine our cameraman there, Felix, probably well acquainted with him. Why are you playing for Chevron Action Flash? Could be playing for Brighton. You don't like having fun? No, winning is fun, and that's something that he's been doing a lot of with Chevron Action Flash. As the teams decide to take a bit of a breather and recuperate, we will do so ourselves. Right now it is Clapham 6, Chevron 5. And we are back in action. Are you excited? I know I am. 6-5. So, Chevy, who remember started on offense and we haven't reached half yet, they need to get these 2 bricks back. Bricks? Breaks. Break points. Not break throws. Again, continuing my public petition. Please, can we come up with a new name for break throws? I think break points should keep the name. There's the side stack by Clapham. Interesting. So they want to immediately set up an isolation cut who slips. But still able to get it back on the under. That is tireless working by Brooking. Opportunity to float that back into the middle. Nice double team help, but it just leaves a spot to McHale open. He wants that scuba. This is really nice stuff between McInerney and McHale, abusing the switches in the handler position. It's cut by Brooking. They're all going open side backhand right now. And the assistant's not quite arriving in time. There's the quick shot up straight through the middle to East. He is a goal machine right now. It's really taking their time, not forcing anything. Very nice. Clapham are professionals, and just as I'm saying, with Jaya just comes in like, yes, blah, blah, blah. It seemed like a very upper class clap, if you ask me. Oh, that's beautiful. 3 defenders, but splits the sea like Moses thanks to his teammates' movement, and then just goes right down that channel. 7-5. Clapham within a point of half time. 2 points up. Chevy need 2 breaks. They were doing quite well for themselves, but then they just slipped. And once again, Clapham going for that very short pull. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. There's no way they're still doing that by EUCF. Like, with this volume, right? Kyle. Just thinking about throwing it to Spears instead, just to get... Oh, I don't think Elliot Edwards stayed in. Oh, I think his foot lifted at the last second. Because that's the throw they want to force, right? I feel like Kime's one of the best people at the... Oh, huge layout! Might have even got a tip. That is very close. That is very close. Really asking a lot of Charlie Butt on that force. I mean, you would. You can ask a lot of him. I don't know. You have to look in... It's so close. It's so close. Does he drag his foot over the line after he gets completion, or does it? Oh, in. 100%. 100% in. Felix with the slow-mo magnificence. 100% in. I think we were able to influence something earlier on when they decided to go to us. That is some fantastic toe drag swag by Cody Elliott Edwards, though. Kime, able to get it immediately into the middle. Mercifully, some might say. Hannum. With the safety dump. Sending it a long way back. Criddle to Spears. Spears has Kime. Kind of. Criddle's trying to get free, but I don't like these dump cuts. These stutter step dump cuts. At best, it gets you a disc reset, but you never gain any yards. You never gain any real position. And a lot of the time, it leads to these like little catch-up. It breeds uncertainty in your handler. It's just, it seems tough. Cold hammer back into the middle to Sweetum. Sweetum goes for a hammer himself, second hammer of the day. Absolutely no one around Elliot Edwards, and he collects it. And there's Clark Lynch. You know he likes a hammer himself, calling it inbounds. It's good he got that, because it was a fantastic grab on the other side. He didn't get full credit for it on the Kime throw. Honestly, like, if I was to have an extra flash, I'd be like, look, Kime, you know exactly what throw you're doing every single time, and it's going to be that flick break to the front corner. And then I just set up a bunch of cutters so they start attacking that corner and pull the defender out. And just have one guy casually stroll there. As you see Sweetenham taking it on, big time shot to Elliot Edwards. Cody Elliott Edwards was also on the under-24 team. Was a huge player from there, 2 assists, as you can expect based off his performance today. 20 goals. Andrew Sweet, 23 assists and 8 goals. So you can see that under-24 connection, even with the absence of Rodri Williams and Ethan Morrell. Obviously Henry Brooking playing for the other team. Oh, Sam Criddle was as well, I didn't realise. Look, when the games are right after each other, I can't do as in-depth research as I would like, but yeah, Sam Criddle picked up 15 assists, 9 goals. So, like, really, when you think about it, A lot of the under-24 talent going with Chevron Action Flash. Now, is that a coincidence, or is that a symptom of the approach that Clapham take to their team creation, whereas Chevy will take you on a little bit sooner? They don't mind turning you into something. Curious. Very curious. But the under-24 talent shining through. Now Chevron need 2 breaks to avoid Clapham taking half and getting the disc. Well, Clapham are getting the disc and they come out of half regardless. Lovely throw into the centre to East. Swings it back around. So they're staying deep right now. Clapham can hawk it, but they're not known for their hawking. I don't think that's their most famous form of offense, brooking. Playing in a lot of space, swings around to East. McHale makes that run down the line. He likes to hawk it. He doesn't this time. Instead, just going down the line. East has been incredible for Clapham this whole game, just keeping them moving. McInerney, and then he just waits. Overcommit by the force, overcommit by the mark. Beautiful little sidestep by Harry Ogden to get free, and I mean, that's a training drill pass for McInerney, the lobster man, to finish it off. So, Clapham have Chevron right in their claws. 8-6 up and receiving the disc in the second half as we have another look. Absolutely fantastic work by McInerney and Ogden to just pull that defense apart and get the easy break for the score and the offensive hold. Again, please try to help me come up with a better name for break throw than break throw. Think about it during halftime because we will be back shortly. It is currently 8 to Clapham and Chevron 6.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it! Come on, break! Seconds, to offense. 15 seconds to offense. Come on, grab ball. Run!
Welcome back, everybody, to this tantalizing affair, this English battle for dominance. Chevron Action Flash place their home city as Manchester. We know they're dotted around the country, but always had a bit of that northern fighting spirit, not afraid of the dirty work, not afraid of the argy-bargy. They are friendly, if not polite. They're going up against the London leaders. Clapham, European champions, but not GB champions. Currently right now, snapping their 22-year streak at the top? 21 year? So plenty to play for, and of course Clapham. Polite, if not friendly. That's the old north-south divider. That's certainly something that people say. Of course, the Scots say it about them compared to all the English, so that's always the way. Is here come Clapham. McHale, rapidly becoming one of the best players in the world, launching the flick. Does it sit enough? I mean, it doesn't need to sit much, and once again, East. That's the third time I've seen him go with that celebration. Love to know in the chat what you guys think about it. I'm a fan. What a throw. What a throw by McHale. And that was something I remember talking to Clapham. When they look to the world stage, they feel like, sure, we can get 50 passes off against some of the best defenses, but sometimes you've just got to take the open shots when they come. Otherwise, you'll just kill yourself. Death by 1,000 throws, right? So they were trying to expand their offense last year, as I understood it, introduce more hucking. Someone like Conor McHale at the Arsenal, those guns will be firing. So a quick and easy hold for Clapham, 9-6 in the lead, and that is just how swiftly things can run away from you when you're playing at the top level. Of course, in the previous game, it was 9-6 early in the second half. And Moon Cup were able to bring it back to 9-all. Of course, then Cusp kind of took care of business. I feel like they're getting closer to their own end zone every time. And it's got to be on purpose, right? And again, there's Butt on Kime. These two have been having a war. He looks like he's taking the around and then immediately switches forward. Chevron seemed to have decided to counter Clapham's defensive approach with just a super dump to start every point. Across the Kime again from Spears. A little bit of a trip. Is that going to be a foul call? Yeah, there's no malice in that, though. Criddle just getting tangled up in the feet with Dan Hillman. Kime. Inside break. Searing to Sweetum, and then the easy pop finish on the other end. That was Weir who got the final score. That was much better by Chevron. Immediately getting himself off the sideline and then just working down the break side. Lovely little finish. Again, all the hard work there really being done by Kime's throw. Great cut by Sweetum, and then the quick pop finish to Cameron Weir for the goal. Cameron Weir only 20. He's an offensive cutter. And he said to look out for throwing backwards. So it shows you where his priorities lie. So 9-7, Chevron now need 3 breaks. That's because Clapham started on defense and were able to go in up a break at half-time. So if you start the game on defense, that's the trade-off. You start the game on defense, if you can be in the lead come half-time, you basically get a free break point, because you get the disc and it will count as a break in terms of measuring the scoring. So you can push your lead out by just getting an offensive hold to start the second half. However, of course, if you don't get a break in the first half, then you will need one more break than your opponents to win the game. So it's a real testament to how much you rank your defense. Nice little quick throw by East. We've got East and Haynes battling each other. Kime marking up against Brooking. I think Haynes is calling the travel on East's throw, maybe? Oh, no, it's sorry. It's a call between Elliot Edwards and I think McHale? Yeah. But, or Tyler East, sorry. Tyler East to Josh East. Josh East to McHale. McHale. Huge layout block! Insane scenes! Elliot Edwards enjoys eating your attempts. Ooh, and nice to just calm it down, get that pass back to Martin Hall. There's the dump all the way back to Toby Nicholas. Swings it up. That's Ben Hall. Overthrowing on the other side to Tom Hodgett. After such a huge defensive effort, Clapham get it back, and McHale just leads down the line. That's got to be frustrating to watch happen if you're Hannum, and then there's the finishing throw comfortably across to East. I can't tell if he was happy about that or not. So we have another look. Lovely finishing throw. Harry Ogden to Tyler East. That makes it 10-7 to Clapham. Chevron have shown that they can get the blocks, get the turns. Well, they've shown they can get 2 anyway. They just weren't able to convert that time. Dan Hillman seems to be directing traffic, telling them what they're going to go for. And again, just throwing it closer and closer to the front of that end zone. Kind of throwing it off William Jackson's foot. And Kime once again squares up with Butt. Now this time Butt is starting off on the front force and staying there. Kime goes to the big hammer all the way over. So Chevron have definitely recognized how they want to get out of that initial position. Criddle sends it down the line, collected by Weir. We're trying to get it back to Colt Hammer. Eventually does. Nice little one-handed snag. Colt Hammer recognized the help defense on that cut by Weir, so sends it back to Spears. Spears leads it out, going a little bit high. Actually quite a comfortable and nice take by Hannum. And then back to Colt Hammer. Back to Hannum. Then quick pop across to Kime. Spears. Kime. Mega inching ever closer. And that, if it takes one break throw, Kime's going to take it on. And a nice shot across. So we have another look. So great work by Kime, the throw, the chase. And then before Clapham can realize where the danger man is, Tyler East gets drawn in. And it's a nice backhand break. Just a bit of conversation. Ben Hall's going to be taking the big old pull. Throwing out some young stars there. Here comes the pull. Chevron, we know they can get big blocks. We know they can make great plays. They're going to need to get a few in a row now. And it's looked like Clapham have really hit their stride. There's another huge shot by McHale. He just sits it. It floats. It's going to be chased all the way down by East. You know, it's just trip him at this point. You know, nothing else is working. That advice brought to you by Lorcan Murray, most spirited commentator in Europe. Look at this from a throw. Waits till Ben Hall turns his back so he can set up the great shot, and all the way home, Haynes can only watch him. So that McHale to East connection is potent, to say the least. So 11-8. And when Clapham need to take care of business, they really do it efficiently. All right. What are the odds that they just throw this one short again? I'll give you 5-2. I mean, that was a little longer. If that's worth anything. Pretty crafty to make sure it hits the ground first, so they can't call a brick and force you to... Because if you just throw it out of bounds, they could call a brick, right? It has to hit the ground before it goes out the sideline. Sweet him. It's Clapham still just looking for assignments, looking kind of floating in that open space. Until he's forced to come back, play a little bit more honest on Criddle. Weir wants the pop. Gets it in the form of Sweetum. Sweetum back to Weir. And again, nice little dish up. Has Spears. He's too busy pretending to throw a hammer to hit him with any real yardage gain. Sweetenham across to Kime. Kime to Criddle. Criddle, that was a lovely little dish to get it into Sweetenham's hands. It's attack to the front corner. Pulls the defense. Swings all the way around to the top. Well taken down. That's a great grab. And an even better throw. Big shout out to Josh Hannum. Not easy to take that in space, but what the vision from Sweetenham was fantastic. I thought he was going to force one to Weir at the front corner. So watch the cut. You can see Spears. You can see Weir. But point saying that's the threat. Doesn't recognize because it's further in the end zone that Hannum's cutting to the corner he should be watching. Still not the easiest of throws or catches. But it seems like Chevron Action Flash is starting to realize how to pull apart this Clapham side. Josh Hannum was not on the under 2014, but is only 22, so you could be expecting to see him pop up on a few national sides in the future. But let's see how they, as a team, can pop up in the rest of this match. There's a timeout. We'll see how Chevron respond on the other side of it as Clapham 11, Chevron 9.
Yes, he will. The lovely did.
We're right back into the action. You can barely take a breath to pause. As Clapham look to fight their way back down it. McHale, is he going to send another hop to Josh East? He has Tyler East in the dump position. No, he sends it to him. Up the line. And there's Josh East collecting it. McInerney goes front corner on the opposite side, almost like an exact repeat of what Chevron Action Flash did, is Dan Hillman. Great work. McInerney again drawing the attention to the immediate corner, allowing the open pass to the opposite side. Really nicely done. Great throw from, is that East who had the disc? So here, watch 44, McInerney attacks the front corner, draws in two defenders, and leaves that big swing available to Hillman on the opposite side. And yeah, that's tough for Andrew Turner. All he can really do is watch in that situation. So Dan Hillman, clearly a vocal leader for this team, directing his troops. A lot of these D-lines. 12-9 up. Are they going to go for another short field pull? He's standing a lot further across than he was. Pardon me. Oh, they're changing the side. How curious. It's always been the near sideline. This time they're going to the far sideline. Maybe they want to make it more difficult for me to notice who has the disc. That certainly looks like Spears. It's man bun, visible even at this distance. And there's the super dump straight away. Criddle across to Kime. And then Kime with a huge gainer all the way down to Sweetenham. That was nice. Back to Kime. Leads Sweetenham into the middle of the pitch. And Chevron looking a lot more comfortable against this Clapham zone now. Recognizing you send a cutter one way, you hit the cutter going in the opposite direction. Cutting in pairs has to be done at this level. Weir. Criddle. That's not an easy throw to get off. Spears is there to collect. Thinks about the scuba over the top. Goes instead to Kime down the line. Kime's got some of the zippiest throws on the Chevron Action Flash team. Hannum. Lovely little fake by Criddle to get free right on the end zone line. Sweetenham comes back. Good cover by Brooking to stop that first dump. So now Kime on an island to an extent, just kind of surveying what's in front of him. Gets it to Colthammer. Colthammer inside to Weir. Weir across to Kime. But it was a bit too far ahead of him. I like the idea by Weir. He recognized the opportunity, but in his haste, he might have injured Kime, and I understand that frustration. He's such a great player, such a great leader. You always want to see him out there because it's always exciting. Trying to work out what he's going to do next. Hope he's okay. Understandable frustration. Okay, so that's Martin Hall. Fakes the blade. Sweetman's trying hard to get free. He's kind of locked into Spears now. He's going to have to change. That stall count got very high. It was a little bit risky. I don't like looking away from somebody once you've engaged them for the dump. Sweetman. Martin Hall, but no, Sweetman goes through the middle instead. And a big swinging around pass to Weir. Very nicely done. I'm not sure if that was Colthammer or Criddle at this distance. The beards are hard to tell apart. That was definitely Weir getting the score. So there's the nice throw inside and a beautiful leading backhand. Something both teams are doing really, really well is drawing attention to one sideline and then throwing a couple of cuts there to attract the defense, swinging to the opposite side. You're seeing it in a couple of different variations, but it's effectively the same move every time. Is it out? Tom Hodgett, understandably marshalling the troops. We've seen you get a turn. Go out and get us another one. Can anyone explain to me why mullets came back into fashion? Something to think about. Enter in the chat. And Ben Hall with a big pull. Quick as well. Mikhail, right in the middle. Almost lackadaisical at times. Is this a zone look? Yep, definitely a bit of an arrowhead. Yeah, judging by where the wing handlers are. Oh no, they're playing spaces! And two lackadaisical on the throw. Big commitment trying to save the possession, but they don't. So, nice work. Great throw by Haynes. To find Weir. Not an easy shot to make at all. Haynes is trying to get free. Weir never looks away from him. I like that. When you turn to dump, you give the rest of your stall count to the person you're engaged with. Oh, Jesus. Haynes is rapidly running out of time there. There's the quick pop across to Turner. Back to Weir. Has Turner again. Nice work. This is Elliot Edwards. Doesn't take on that throw. I like him holstering that. Double help coming. That means someone is exposed. He finds him. Nicely done. Right into the middle in the waiting hands of Jackson. Jackson pops to Turner. Turner finds for the break. A lovely little shot inside. Tasty, tasty play. And finishing the hands of Ben Tennant. With Ben Tennant getting that final touch, I think every Chevron Action Flash player touched the disc during that point. Ben Tennant, 21 years old, originally from Brighton. As you see again, that's just an execution error, really. But that's why you want to be able to throw the zone out of nowhere, right? No preparation, no time to get used to it. Lovely shot inside. That's Jackson. He's going to hit Turner, who's going to hit Tennant. But I love that. Late in the game, you can throw the zone. You have a different defensive look that happens in the final quarter, right at the start of the final quarter, start of the final third. Throw it out there. They won't expect it, and they might just make an execution error out of carelessness or unfamiliarity. I've seen some of the best club teams do it in their lowest moments, rescue seasons. Love that look from Chevron Action Flash. Ben Tennant, haven't really spoken about him too much, mostly known as a deep threat, but that time showing that he is quite a heads-up cutter, knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's on the D-line most of the time. He's currently based out of Nottingham as well, so playing his ultimate up north. Or in the northern end of the Midlands, I suppose. Nottingham's kind of considered where the Midlands of England end. Back across into Ogden. Mikhail. Oh, Ogden's just playing this 1-2 game. It's lovely, and at some point you got to step through. Oh, Ogden tearing them apart. I wanted to throw that so badly. Just make it the Ogden point. I mean, this is his world. We're living in it, and I call it Ogdenville. To Mikhail. Oh, nice hand up by Elliot Edwards. Sick of getting those off, I imagine. Tyler East. Back to Mikhail. That's a backhand break. Nicely taken down. I thought it flowed a little bit too much. McInerney doing the airwalk. Somehow finding that space to McHale, who then just pops it in for the quick score and comfortable collection in the end by Ty Bogan Carey, who is playing with glasses on. Certainly looks like it, yeah, he's playing with glasses on. Ty Bogan Carey learned to play his ultimate University of Limerick. Played a few years with Pelt before moving on to Ranelagh up in Dublin. Work brought him there, work brought him to London. And he played with Clapham. An elite player and a wonderful personality, just one of those people you want on your team. Not just because he's giant and has recently learned to throw. As you can see, Clapham kind of bringing it in. Chevron understandably wanting to gather there themselves as McInerney after the Skywalker catch. Somehow fits it in between three players, and at that point it's just a quick pass. Back to Bogan Carey. So very nicely done. And that puts Clapham 2 points in the lead. We'll see how they how Chevron responded. It's Clapham 13, Chevron 11.
Seconds to offense.
Welcome back, and as you can see, Clapham sticking to that strategy but moving the sideline. Lovely hammer over the top to Weir. Kime. Nice pop back, Colthammer. Almost reaching backwards in time to pull that one back in. Gets it to Weir. Weir's been really impressive in this game. I hope youth national team coaches are paying attention. Colthammer to Weir. There's no defender in the space. Just pop it back to him. Or let him a defense, and that's unfortunate. Is there going to be a foul call on that one? But Josh Hannum had it. Maybe a little bit too eager from Brooking coming in. So actually, Colthammer, and he goes immediately, attacks the front corner. Wijaya and Brooking are pulled in. Brooking tries to recover with the help. Maybe just getting a little bit too physical and attacking across the arm of Josh Hannum. That looked like a turnover symbol by Hannum. Oh no, he's just doing a grab and then flicking his wrist afterwards for emphasis. Certainly looks like an uncontested foul to me. So that means 45 seconds have gone for the talk. So either it goes back to Weir or it's a goal. Well, actually, no, that's not true because that's not a strip, right? That's a foul. So a foul, that means Hannum will get the disc at the front of the end zone. It's a strip if he caught it already and the defense had fouled him and dislodged it. That would have been a goal. Uncontested strip on a foul, get the disc at the front of the end zone. I like the distinction in that ruling. And we're in. Oh no, now. Spears times that cut very well. And then Sweetenham has a remarkably open Colthammer. Tireless work by the Chevron veteran. He's 41? God damn. I mean, he's been getting it done as long as I've been playing Ultimate, I suppose. So yeah, that would make sense. Lovely little dish from Sweetenham. Ruining Brooking. I think Brooking a bit frustrated. He knows he could have laid it out, but he just was caught unawares by his under-24 teammate. Spoke yesterday when we were talking about the semi-finals, and I had the distinct delight of getting to call Clapham taking on Gentle, but how the current top two in the continent seems to be Belgium and GB. I think we expected a Belgium GB final to go with the two Belgium GB semi-finals, but instead we get an all GB bronze medal and an all Belgium final, which should kick off about half an hour ago. So plenty of Ultimate to enjoy all over the place. As you can see, Chevron want nothing to do with this short game shenanigans of the Clapham Mo. That was a fantastic pull, pinned right in the corner. Tom Martin Hall steps up. I really hope I haven't been calling Edward Graham Tom Martin Hall this whole game. I think I can tell the difference between the old and the new jerseys, but I'm not certain. They're both wearing 6. Big swinging pass all the way around, but there's defender in the area. What a catch! Absolutely sensational. They lay the trap and they spring it to perfection. And who else? Who else but that ex-Clapham man? Reads the play and gets the goal. That's Robbie Haynes, baby. Absolutely stellar. Absolutely stellar play from a star player. Big time. Let's have another look. McInerney. All his options are immediately shut down. He recognized it. Haynes is watching the whole time. He laid that trap. He dug the pit and Clapham fell right in. And they're seating him. I like that dance. Gotta keep those spirits up. Chevron, because they train in pods kind of around the country. You just play with your local players. That's how they can have people based in Brighton, in Nottingham, in Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham. I think a few of them are there as well. Just kind of dotted all around England. And they'll trade in pods and then come together for tournaments. So that's why vibes, I don't know what Gen Z people call vibes, why spirit, why camaraderie, why the general way you carry yourself is so important. Because team culture is really determined by the players in a big way with Chevron, rather than with Clapham, where team culture is very much determined by the team, by the brand, the legacy, whatever you want to call it. And then East forced to go over the top, giving them a lot of trouble right now. So Clapham struggling in late games. That's where they lost the semi-final. Are they doing the same here? How that got through, I do not know, but it found its way to McHale. And again, they're getting these throws off. Brooking doesn't want anything to do with holding on to it, but then they're getting very lucky. It's closer and closer all the time, but there's existing in these gaps. East shoots. Tell me that's McHale underneath it. Oh, okay, first of all, that looked like Martin Hall tackled him. No, there you go. Yeah, he understands. Just a little bit of intensity. That's going to happen, a little bit of contact. Your adrenaline flares up. But they seem to agree that he was in. That was incredible. So the McHale East connection working in both directions. When we get back to the highlight, look at how McHale corrects his deep cut. He doesn't sit and wait for the disc. He recognizes that it's going to fall short. And look at how he skips under Elliot Edwards. That's experience. And look at how he toes that line and then eats that contact from Tom Martin Hall. I mean, I'd like to be coached by him. So Clapham, hold on. How many near calls did they have? Brooking, when it bounced off him and he was just about able to catch it. That throw through to East, the pop. Can't remember who threw it, but the pop to McHale that somehow got through 2 defenders. Then even that shot right towards the end. Elliot Edwards just lets McHale slip by him, but couldn't find the disc in time, and the better read. That's why you got to stay literate, kids, So Clapham now within touching distance of a brand here at Leuven. and an early season statement over Chevron Action Flash. We want our title back. Let's see how Chevron respond. The current kings of British Ultimate. Oh, that was a long old throw to Criddle. They're really not afraid to give up these yards, and I wonder, like, when Clapham have a fuller squad, they're going to ratchet up that pressure a lot more on handlers. Force some difficult throws. Colt Heber, who will probably still be playing once he passes his jersey number in age. If this is the level he's playing at, incredible D! What a play, Tyler East. Putting his body on the line for the cause, getting the layout block on Spears. Coming off, we hope he's under the tournament. Look at this by East. Covers the stints. That's it. Spears started to turn. He wanted to get the extra help for the break throw rather than attacking straight at the disc. Spears opened that window and Tyler East dove straight through it. So now Clapham with a chance to end this game right here, right now. Hillman picks up, a couple of passes along, and we find ourselves in the hands of Joshua East. Brooking. I think it would be fitting after his performance this weekend for him to get the assist for Clapham to take bronze, and they do. And of course, it is that unstoppable force. Joshua East picking up the goal. Our stats weren't taken. Oh, no, that's going to go back to Brooking. Apparently, there was a bit too much contact, maybe perhaps a foul. So we have a look here. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Oh, and they just went straight back to it anyway. All right, well, look, you didn't need to see it live because it was basically the exact same thing that happened. That's my point. Brooking, the breakout star, I would say, of Clapham's weekend, and then Joshua East, the unstoppable force. He's been absolutely incredible all weekend. This game as well. Absolutely incredible performance by Joshua East. Even just in the last few points, he caught at least 2 hooks from McHale. He threw a hook to McHale that McHale did a lot of hard work to make sure it was collected. Had that assist to Dan Hillman. He gets that winning score there. Joshua East is my MVP of the game. I've been so impressed with Brooking as well. Probably my MVP of the weekend for Clapham. Commiserations to Chevron Action Flash. Oh, so close, but you see how little these games are determined by. They were one dragged toe away from going 14-13 up themselves. Instead, they lose 15-13, but plenty of excitement still to come, and what a season we have ahead of us in the Open Division. Hop on over. There's still plenty of action happening in the final, where Gentle are taking on Moon Catchers, and maybe a little bit of a prediction of what the future holds in the Belgian national title scene. Of course, I would say Jets at Love have a few things to say about that in Belgium, and of course, Bristol and Alba would have a few things to say about that back in GB. But right here, right now, thank you for joining us for this game. We've got one more bronze medal game coming to you live from these pitches. It's going to be in the mixed division, as well as showing you the finals. In the bronze medal game in the mixed division, it'll be Nullock taking on Deep Space, which might have been the first game I did. They've definitely promises to be very exciting, so don't you go anywhere unless you're checking out the other stream. See Mooncatchers play Gentle, and then Leamington Lemmings are taking on Seski at half 1 CET in the final there. So where else would you want to be than here with Ulti TV, Solid Sport, the EUF, myself, Lorca Murray, and our whole wonderful crew. We will see you shortly. Next catch get time, same catch channel.
Thought that you should know I'm already sold, so never let me go. You already had a